Well, the tops were open on these boxes, so I took a look at the drivers. It is impossible to get the drivers out of the box without destroying it, so I'll leave it in there. I don't want to destroy the value of these speakers, but guess who sent me these speakers? He's really popular on YouTube. He works on radios. Yep, it's AllAmericanFiveRadio. Yep, he was awesome like that, and he gave me those in payment to fix his Crosley speaker. You know, there's the box that came in, and there's the speaker. Now let's get the recoding. Now, as you can see, there's a speaker cone sitting right here. Here's the cone. It's pretty much the same size. It's actually a little bit bigger. Paper. I'm going to be using the voice coil wires in this one. Voice coil wires are back here. I've numbered it. I don't know if you can tell. See them? I've burned off the enamel so I can connect it to the original voice coil wires. And of course your wool dust cap. Here's the speaker. This material that they used to fix this is I see what they were trying to do, but they really just didn't know what they were doing, you know. This tape is, in itself, the repair is vintage. It's like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 years old. And I'm trying to get this off without destroying the voice coil. So let me get all this stuff off and we'll take a look at the speaker without the tape and crap on it. You can see the magnet construction on this is very weird. It's neat. There's a screw going down the middle of it. I'm not sure what type of material that is. Probably Alnico. I'm not exactly sure, but here's the numbers. And there's the back of the speaker. Relatively, this portion of the cone, if the whole cone looked like this, it would be a good speaker. Aside from a few hairline cracks that seem to have been messed around with at a few points of time, that would be acceptable. But this, it's like coffee filter. That is not acceptable. Now I see what they tried to do, and what they've done is they've pushed the voice coil down. It's been like it for so long that I'm afraid that the original spider may be distorted to such a point that it's not usable. But we'll see, and it's definitely fixable though. There you go. And there you go. You can see that they glued it too. See the voice coil wires. The spider will be fine. It flattened back out, so we know that's made of a good material. But if this was repaired right, it would actually still be good. Because there's really just about a third of a cone missing, but they put so much material on there that it's really just it's funny. But this will be a fun project. And here's the cone. It's a little bit bigger than the diameter of the old cone, which is perfect. So let's get to reconing. I don't know how many live shots I can do, but I will be doing step-by-step video parts. Good. We're at the place where we were before in another repair video. You can see they used, like, what type of glue or tape is this? It's like scotch paper or tape or something like that. But first we'll go by cutting the cone gently. We'll check for ease of voice coil movement. This is like cutting through napkin. It doesn't take any effort. A lot of people just throw this paper away. I actually save it for other speaker repairs, like patches and stuff. Let me zoom in a little bit, sorry. I save it for patches and stuff, so just quick little tear out. I saved this. Not this part. It's glue. It's got glue all over it. But these large pieces of paper are actually usable for other things. There we go. Now we're gonna cut the gasket away. And the glue's usually dried out, so it's pretty simple to do such. Oh, by the way, today's Valentine's Day, too. And I'll clean that off later, since see, that's extremely delicate. I also found out that those Heathkit speakers are either from the 60s or 70s. And judging by what I read in the instruction manual, it uses a foam surround. And I can hear stuff rattling around, so the foam was probably rotted. It's probably gone, so let me go ahead and clean the frame off. What I do to do that is I'll zoom in a little bit. So I do that. Now let me go ahead and shorten the video and go ahead and do all of that basket. Once again, I always cover the magnet in tape to prevent from scratching it up real badly. Because if this is a collector's item radio, which it most likely is, people may be taking a look inside and they see that speaker is all scratched up. That's not good. And that's nice and protected. Here's your old cone, Rick. That is absolutely rotted. I also checked, and the voice coil movement is very smooth. There's not much dust in there. I will clean it out a little bit, and I will reinforce that glue because it has the it usually dries out pretty much, and it can come apart. I've seen several recones done with new cones look really nice and sound great, but then start distorting because they didn't glue the spider down, and that caused the spider to come off, and thus rendering the speaker useless until it was repaired once again.
And are ultra comfortable. But that's not all. Steve Hop Care Club will split their money on some strippers.
Ooh, shiny. Clean. Okay, turns out I'm not going to use the wires on this cone, so I clipped them out and pulled them out. But you can see the original wires are nice and strong. They have a paper or glue reinforced type of connection. That's what it would look like if it was done, but it's not done yet. Okay, it may look like a wad of paper, but I have all the shims inserted and folded downward so that it doesn't get glued to the cone. Now we're going to glue the cone. So what we're going to do is, it fits perfectly. And it looks great. So, let's glue it. Cool. Now, just let it dry. The next video will be part 2. And part 2 will be with the dust cap on and it playing. Crosley speaker, you know, there's the box that came in. And there's the speaker. Now let's get the recoating. Now as you can see, there's a speaker cone sitting right here. Here's the cone. Well, the tops were open on these boxes, so I took a look at the drivers. It is impossible to get the drivers out of the box without destroying it, so I'll leave it in there. I don't want to destroy the value of these speakers, but guess who sent me these speakers? He's really popular on YouTube. He works on radios. Yep, it's AllAmericanFiveRadio. Yep, he was awesome like that, and he gave me those in payment to fix his. Also, I've burned off the enamel so I can connect it to the original voice coil wires. And of course, your wool dust cap. Here's the speaker. This material is pretty much the same size. It's actually a little bit bigger. Paper. I'm going to be using the voice coil wires in this one. Voice coil wires are back here. I've numbered it. I don't know if you can tell. See them?